Good morning. How are we? Just going to bring my page up so I can see how things are getting on. All right, I can see I'm there. This is good. Hello, who have I got on there? Fran. Hello, Fran. How are you? All right, I'm just adding some links to the top. And then we'll get started. Alrighty. Hey Troy, how's Thailand? Hey Kim, nice to see you again. Hey Jody. Alrighty, I've just finished running a live in my journaling group. One of the ladies posted yesterday that she was journaling and she's been journaling for weeks and weeks really consistently, but she wasn't having a breakthrough. And so I've just come from that journaling group and let her know about, the things that she can do to get that breakthrough. And it got me thinking about one of the things that I mentioned in that Facebook Live that I just did within that community, and that is really about acknowledging the space that you're in right now. And one of the journaling prompts or the questions or the statements that I started my journaling practice with the other day was, I feel really uncomfortable right now. I'm in a growth phase and it feels really uncomfortable. And then I just journaled my way through that and just putting those words down and acknowledging the fact that right now, back then anyway, I felt super, super uncomfortable. I was able to release it and just move on, and also console pretty quickly that the fact that this discomfort is really just a part of growth. It's actually a natural part of growth. And you've probably heard of that saying, the breakthrough always comes after the breakdown. And that's often the case, when you feel like everything's just so frustrating and you're feeling like you're totally stuck and you feel like it doesn't matter which way that you turn, that the shit hits the fan and you're just looking for something to happen. And usually that sense of total frustration and that sense of total, like, I just can't take it anymore, is the feeling that you get just before you do have that breakthrough. And all I want to say to you is just to make sure that you hang on, because the shittier the time you're having right now, I promise you, the better time you're going to have of it very, very soon, because it seems to be that the tougher that time is, the tougher that situation is. The harder we have to hustle at some points, and the harder we have to, the more we have to go inside and just work shit out quickly, because we're in this place of stuckness and we just want to get out. And when we do that, that's usually what elevates us and what gives us the gold. This is where the gold is, always. I mean, imagine if life was just freaking amazing every day that we woke up and we just went about our business and we weren't challenged in any way. We wouldn't need to grow, would we? We wouldn't need to go through these phases or these periods of growth. And when I was a little kid, I used to get growing pains a lot. My shins used to ache, and I remember crying many, many nights because I was just in so much pain, and my mum would come in and put ice packs on my shins or whatever. But these growing pains that we go through in business, and entrepreneurs don't feel any less painful, that's for sure. It is like this painful process of growing pains, and that's the only way I can describe it. And but honestly, where you are right now is exactly where you need to be, and it doesn't matter how shitty it feels, because what's happening is you're going through some phase of growth and you're going through some phase of expansion. And just like when you come into the world, when you're birthing an idea, it's ugly and it's messy and it's not very comfortable at all. And so just acknowledge where you're at and journal on it, write your way through that. Because for me, as I said, just writing those words, I'm in growth right now and it feels really uncomfortable, and it feels really, and I mentioned a few of the things that were showing up for me that were pissing me off and making me feel like crap. And I just journaled through that stuff, and then my fighting spirit came through very quickly. I was like, but screw it. I'm on this planet to do this. And then I started to feel myself rise, and I started to feel my vibration lift, and then I just kept going with that, and then the momentum was there, and then I jumped on and did some things that I needed to do on my website because I felt really excited about it and like, this has to happen right now. And then the momentum was there, and sometimes just getting ourselves into that place of this feels really shit right now, and you can be pissed off with the world, you can be frustrated, you can be angry, you can be sad, you can be whatever it is that you need to be. But you know that there's that part within you, deep within you, that is never going to give up. It's always going to fight. And you need to just trigger that internal mechanism to fight again. And then when that starts to rise, go with it, because when you go with it and when you continue to stay with it, then that's when you pop out the other side. And then you just need to continue to follow through on that and continue to do things that feel good. Yesterday I was driving down to visit a girlfriend, and the day before that I was able to catch up with my kids and catch up with another couple of friends, and thought to myself, I was driving along in the car and just these such strong feelings of gratitude overcome me, and I become quite emotional actually, just feeling like, it was so good to see my kids. I just feel so grateful that my kids are in such a good place, and that I could spend hours talking to them. I just love spending time with them. It wasn't always the case I wanted to strangle them through those teenage years, but so grateful for that, and the fact that I had this love in my life, and feeling grateful about that, and feeling like being around Dave, and even when I'm not around him, it just makes me feel good. And then I started thinking about being around my kids makes me feel good, and being around my friends makes me feel good, and driving in this car that was on my vision board for such a long time makes me feel good. And just started to really tune in, and I'm doing that a lot lately. What's making you feel good, and be guided by that, because that's where you need to be lifting that vibration so that you're constantly feeling good. And this morning I was in the shower and I'm thinking about my upcoming trip, and typically me, I started to think about, I'm going to miss my kids, I'm going to miss Dave, I'm going to miss, what if I forget something? And then I thought, these thoughts aren't making me feel good, so what's going to make me feel good? And I thought about when Dave gets home, I'm going to take him out to dinner, and we'll be able to have some fun doing that, and I'm going to go and get my nails done, and I'm going to pack my bag today, and instead of doing it at the last minute, I'm going to take my time, and I'm going to really enjoy the process. I'm going to get some music going, and just straight away turn my thoughts around, because I started to worry and stress and think about all the things that were, I was going to miss or could go wrong. And instead I switched it around and started to think about, I've got another 24 hours or whatever I've got here today, more than that actually, because I leave tomorrow night, but I've got this time in my home and in my office and to spend with my loved ones, and just whatever I needed to do to raise my vibration so that I didn't get myself caught up in worry. I think if you've been on my calls, you'll see I could worry for the freaking world. I'm a natural worrier, and so I have to work a lot of the time to turn those worrying thoughts around, especially if a trip's coming up. I'm excited about it, but I'm always thinking about, I always miss my kids and miss Dave and stuff like that. So, but yeah, just having to turn that stuff around, and it's so important for us to really be tuned into our vibration and know that we need to be feeling good. If you're not feeling good, it means something needs to be fixed. It means something needs to be adjusted. Our guide as to whether we're on path or not is that we feel good. And if you have a natural tendency like me to worry about things, then you need to find ways to be able to turn that around. Music's a great one. Just catching yourself doing that and consciously turning those thoughts around is going to help too. Anyway, I think that's it. I feel like I'm waffling a little bit now, but where you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be. So acknowledge that, journal on it, release it if you need to, and start to tap into that fighting spirit that's deep within you, because thanks Fern, because it's in there. That fighting spirit is in there. So if you're feeling like life is really shit right now and it doesn't matter what you do, you can't turn it around, just acknowledge it, go with it, sit with it for a little bit, and then you will trigger that part within you that wants to fight for what you want, and fight for your dreams, and that will start happening. Now, before I go, I need to let you know about my journaling program. It starts again next Wednesday. It's a 5-day boot camp. I run it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, give you the weekend to catch up, and then we do the training again on the Monday and Tuesday. That journaling program has been life-changing for many people. I've put the links above the video, so you can click on the Journal Your Way link, and that will show you, thanks Joe, nice to see you on. So go check out the journaling, just to scroll through the comments from the people that have already been in that program. And then if you love that program and you like the idea of the program, instead of paying $297, what I want you to do is click on the Anti-Hustle Society link and sign up there. That is only a $25 trial for the first month, and after that it's $67 a month. You'll get that journaling program that starts next week for $25 instead of paying all that money, and then you can continue on with your subscription. And every month I'm delivering new training, so there's going to be a boot camp every month, and I'm also going to start to implement a monthly review and a monthly goal setting. So once a month, towards the end of the month, we're going to look at how our month went, and then we're going to set some really strong goals for the following month. And I'm going to make that part of the process. And then any other learning that I've learned and feel like you guys need to know within the Anti-Hustle Society, I'm going to be releasing that as well. So that is the membership that you need. As I say, it's only $25 if you sign up today, and that's going to give you the journaling program, this month's training that's coming up at the end of the month, the monthly review and goal setting session for April, and it is the thing to do. And at only $25, it's really worth testing to see if it's for you or not. I hope you'll be a part of that community, and I really want to see you in that journaling program as well, because it's honestly life-changing. Anyway, have an awesome day. I probably will try to go live today, because then I'm going to be in transit for a couple of, for 24 hours or whatever it is. So I'll try and do that before I head off. And have an amazing Friday if you're in Australia, and Thursday if you are everywhere else in the world. Take care. Bye.